All right, good morning, everybody. I'm sure everybody really likes, going to movies, going to see movies. And up until recently, it's been the largest section and most profitable in the entertainment industry. But according to the Telegraph, that in the recent years, video games have overtaken movies as the most profitable entertainment industry. And I'm Ian Gallagher, and this is Alex Cardenas, and we are St. Edward's students, majors in interactive games management, and we would like to educate potential customers and most recently potential investors about Double Fine Productions. We're going to talk about the company's history, we're going to talk about their financials, and we're going to talk about their future projects. So I'll begin with their history, and they were founded in 2000 by Tim Schafer. And Tim Schafer was formerly a developer and designer at LucasArts, where he designed games such as Full Throttle, Grim Fandango, and the Monkey Island series, all of which were critically acclaimed. In 2005, Double Fine released their first game entitled Psychonauts, which received many awards and commendations, such as Game of the Year from Eurogamer and one of the 6 best games of all time by XPlay. In 2009, they released their second game, Brutal Legend, to further critical acclaim, and it received Best Strategy and Simulation Game from the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences. In 2000, they began a new push for fully downloadable games and did not release any actual games on a disc. Their first game, Costume Quest, was released in October of 2010 and was voted Best Downloadable Game by the Spike Video Game Awards. In 2011, they released Stacking, their second downloadable game, and is considered one of IGN's top 25 PlayStation Network games. And Trench, most recently released in 2012, scored a 9 out of 10 from official Xbox magazine. So I'm going to hand it over to Alex so he can talk about the financials of the company.
All right, so Double Fine, according to Uber's and LexisNexis, made a whopping $400,000 last year, which is a small number because even though their games are so great, they don't sell very well. For example, we talked about Psychonauts. You saw the awards that it made. According to an interview Tim Schafer did in March, it sold about 100,000 copies in 2005, which compared to other games like Call of Duty, which sell millions of copies within the first day, that's nothing. Brutal Legend did a little bit better. It sold 1.7 million, but according to GameSpot.com, its budget was $27 million, so they were expecting it to do a little bit better than 1.7 million. So at the beginning of this year, Double Fine had a few projects canceled, so they were out of work, they didn't have any money, and for the first time, looked like they're going to have to lay people off. So Tim Schafer decided he was going to make his own project, he was going to fund it himself, he was going to actually make a documentary about it, and for the first time film a game process from the beginning to the end. So he teamed up with a company called Two Player Productions, and they were going to film the whole thing. The only problem is that they didn't have any money to do it. So he turned to Kickstarter. For those of you who don't know, Kickstarter is a website where people can post their projects online. They set up a financial goal they want to reach within a certain time limit, and if they don't reach that goal in time limit, well, they don't get any of the money. But then we can donate to their projects, and normally in return for incentives. So for example, for this project, if you donated $15, you'd get access to the game and the documentary. $30, you'd get like a t-shirt, and $50, you'd get your name on the credit to the game. So he was asking for $400,000, which, as I mentioned earlier, the game Brutal Legend had a $27 million budget, so $400,000 isn't a lot, especially since $100,000 of that was just for the documentary. And the reason he did that is because he wasn't very optimistic about how much money he was going to make, and so he thought $300,000 was the bare minimum of what he could make a game for. So he posted his project. After 8 hours, they reached $400,000. After the first day, they reached $1 million. And at the end of the month, they reached $3.3 million, donated by 87,000 people. It was one of the most successful Kickstarter campaigns in history. So with all their new money, they set up a website for their project that they called Double Fine Productions. And on the website is only accessible to people who donated. And on the website, they have updates. They put up character designs, and they have people vote for them to see which ones make it into the game. I saw a few weeks ago they asked for level recommendations, and then they came back the next week and actually illustrated the ones that they liked, and they're going to put those into the game based on how people voted for them. So it's the first time that people get to decide the game that they want as it's being made. People get to decide what kind of game they bought, basically. And documentary is being released on that website in monthly episodes, and it also gives updates and everything. But what's really important about this is that he's doing it on his own. He's not, he doesn't have a publisher or anything, so there's no corporations telling him how to making changes to his game, so he has complete creative control, which is really important to a small game studio. So to wrap it up, I'm going to pass it off to you.
So we talked about the company's history and how they've been award-winning since the very beginning. It's critically acclaimed. We talked about how they're an innovator in project financing and how they're looking towards other Kickstarters had since come up since their campaign trying to accomplish the same goal. So they're a leader in project financing. As well, they are committed to the future of video game distribution by releasing downloadable only and stepping away from the now antiquated disc release. So that concludes it. Does anybody have any questions?